Grand Rising Cosmic Family, it's your boy Jynesis back with another video on astrology. Before we get into it, just want to open up with some good energy by saying peace to all the gods and goddesses of Planet God, peace to the elders, peace to the ancestors, peace to my peers, peace to the youth, peace to the crystal babies and starseeds and the animals and the plant life on Kai. Send high vibrations to everybody. So, the last video I posted is Mercury, but I had to postpone it. But I did record it prior to the other videos. But I posted it weird, but coming off of Mercury, which is for Wednesday. I also did the Gemini and Virgo video in that too, so go ahead and check that out if you are a Virgo or you want to learn about Virgo energy and Mercury energy. So today, talking about Jupiter, the biggest planet in the solar system, and basically the biggest beneficial planet in the chart. When it comes to having Jupiter placed in the chart, what's up? When it comes to having Jupiter placed in the chart, wherever sign it is in, that energy is going to influence basically what it expands on, because Jupiter is a planet of expansion. Jupiter is all about higher knowledge and wisdom, kind of expanding beyond what's realistic, and also it's about belief systems or philosophy, to keep it short. So this is where you'll find the energy of, your luck as well. Any blessings that come your way will come through Jupiter. Jupiter is just all about good energy. Any energy that you have that's optimistic is 10 times out of 10 Jupiter energy, especially if they're aspecting any other planets in your chart. Also, if it's in a good sign, like an exalted or a home sign, it also will do well, but it does just as good in other signs, except for the debilitated and the fall signs, which would be the opposing to the home and the exalted. Jupiter's it's one of the personal planets out of the chart. So from the sun to Jupiter would be personal planets, and after Jupiter, to Saturn will be personal planets, and after Saturn it will be generational planets, or the collective planets, which will be Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. With Jupiter, what it does in any part of your house, it will basically bring a lot of focus to that energy. So, like, for an example, I have Jupiter in the 11th house. 11th house energy is ruled by Aquarius, so it's about friendships, communities, higher intelligence, or higher consciousness, humanitarianism, just helping others, and just being a part of a group. If Jupiter's there, Jupiter's basically going to expand that. It's going to bring a lot of that abundance toward it, because it's an abundant planet as well. So I'll have an abundance of friends, I'll have an abundance of opportunities that deals with my community to be involved with, or I'll probably be on the other end of that, of giving that abundance, giving those opportunities in the community, having the abundance amongst my friends and whatnot. Or I might have friends that are of Jupiterian energy, who are very abundant, very lucky, optimistic about life, and don't really be too much on the dark or deep end. But for the most part, Jupiter, it's a planet you want to focus on if you really are trying to manifest something. Yeah, it has its downs as far as, patterns, overindulging and shit. So, if you have a lot of Jupiter-like placements, or a lot of aspects to your Jupiter, or Jupiter aspects, period, you're going to have a lot of energy of overindulgence with those relationships with the other planets. You're going to overindulge in basically whatever energy the sign's in. So you have to watch out for that. Any sign it can overindulge in, because it's not the sign that overindulges, it's the planet. It's just how it overindulges. So you have to watch out for that, especially if you have it in Pisces or Sagittarius, because those two can definitely overindulge in anything. Those are the two planets that just love escapism, because Jupiter is kind of the escapist planet too, just as much as Neptune. Jupiter represents kind of that adventurous energy, and to go on an adventure you have to leave somewhere. So some people escape through their adventures, or they'll escape on an adventure, I should say, to get away from their worldly problems. And Jupiter is kind of that planet that helps you focus on the better things of life, versus Saturn is like, it helps you kind of understand the lessons and the hardships that you go through, so it makes you focus on that. And Jupiter basically will just bless you with anything you need in life. It'll bless you with all the energy for whatever you need. So if you focus that energy on there, if you focus Jupiter on whatever you're trying to do, it'll basically amplify that manifestation, and it'll bring it closer, versus Saturn will kind of basically restrict you, because you have to learn and appreciate it once you get it. And by appreciating, it's going to put you through a whole bunch of tests and trials and tribulations. So once you do obtain whatever the fuck you're trying to manifest, you'll appreciate it more than the average being. That's why Capricorns, they really want to have a lot of status in life. They want to grow, but they want to grow in a way where it's like they don't want to fall back to the previous position they was in. So they make sure that they take it slow. And Saturn definitely makes you take it slow if you're not paying attention to the energy of Saturn. Because a lot of people don't know about these other planets, so they don't really understand certain aspects in their life that go on. But once you learn aspects in astrology, once you learn the planets, once you learn the signs, and the houses, you'll understand planets being in a house and a sign, and this and that and the third. And you'll actually be able to notice and acknowledge it and actually do something with it. Yeah, Jupiter is a gas giant, so it's not really too physical based. It's not going to be practical. It's going to be more so it's going to be on like a go with the flow type of planet, but it's definitely going to have a focus to it. So it's not like scattered too much, but it can become scattered. That energy can become scattered, especially with Gemini energy, because not Gemini. Well, Gemini as well, if it's in Gemini, because it's debilitated, but Sagittarius as well, because they do have a tendency to get distracted and kind of scatter themselves out if they don't focus on the goal at hand. Same thing with Geminis, but Geminis, that's just naturally them, because they have a tendency to kind of jump from one idea to the next without actually putting too much thought into that idea, like a Virgo would when it comes to that Mercury energy, thought process, processing information and shit like that. Geminis don't focus on one topic. You can talk about everything and anything with a Gemini, versus a Sagittarius. They're more so going to talk about anything and everything deeply, and they're going to kind of like bring you on an adventure with the information and knowledge. What's on, bro? They're going to bring you on an adventure with this information and knowledge. And they're always going to come back to a complete circle with it, but for the most part, their energy and their purpose is to expand, because that Jupiter energy is all about expanding that philosophy. It gets deep in with the philosophies and how you think and what you believe in, and your belief systems and how you operate in the world, as far as what you believe is right and wrong, versus the next person. Your perspective over theirs, what's yours versus what's theirs. That's Jupiter energy. Philosophy is none other than a perspective. And when it comes to those generational planets, they're the collective planets, so they'll collectively come together on a philosophy, versus Jupiter is more so personally how you come on a philosophy, or what you philosophize on, or what are you philosophical about. Feel me? It's always going to differ between each sign, but some signs have sextiles and some signs have oppositions that are similar but different. So there always is going to be some type of spectrum and axis to certain energies when it comes to perspectives and kind of comparing them. But that whole energy of perspective and philosophy and expanding on knowledge and just getting deeper within knowledge is Jupiter at hand. Yeah, you can't lay down because it's wet. I already know. Just sitting here. Yeah, man. Jupiter energy is a really good planet, and it's really good energy. It's a really good planet to learn about, because this planet will bring you your blessings guaranteed. It's not the planet that was going to like kind of sell you short. That's kind of Saturn, but it doesn't sell you short. It's just, if you have a lot of optimism about the outcome, Saturn's going to make sure that outcome happens through trials and tribulations. And some people don't know how to take that energy. That's why Saturn gets a a worse rep than Jupiter would, because Jupiter, like I said, it's all about luck. It's a beneficent planet. That means it benefits you. It benefits you in whatever place it is placed in, either house or sign or both. It's always going to focus on that energy and expand on that and kind of give you the blessings in that energy. Versus Saturn, that energy is teaching you something, so you're not really much so going to be able to handle that energy too well. But for the most part, once you learn how to get through that and learn what Saturn teaches you, then you'll kind of switch over to that Jupiter energy of that blessing. And the more you work on it, the bigger the blessing is. Because basically, the more you expand on that shit, the bigger that blessing is gonna come, and you're always gonna notice it, because it's gonna be pretty obvious. You know, Jupiter is that obvious planet. It's the biggest fucking planet, so the energy is gonna be obvious. You know, Sagittariuses are one of the most sociable signs. You know, they like being noticed, and they like being a part of a community, to learn about them, to kind of get the ideas, or understand the ideologies of the communities, to understand the philosophies of the communities, because they're all about learning. You know, Sagittarius rules the 9th house, and 9th house is about higher education. It's all about higher knowledge and, you know, learning about other cultures, or learning about something outside of yourself, to grow yourself and grow that light within you, because it's fire, and fire is all about that light and action. And Sagittarius love going on adventures and going, like, traveling is the biggest thing about a Sagittarius. And, you know, depending on where your Jupiter is also going to dictate the type of travels you prefer, you know, or like how often you travel, or where you would travel, because certain signs and elements dictate certain areas and parts of the world as well. Goddamn. Throwing them bitches. But yeah, what else, man? Jupiter. So I'm not trying to talk too much about the same thing, but Jupiter is one of those planets that you cannot definitely have a good feel about, have good energy about. The signs that is exalted in will be Cancer, and the signs that is best. Hey, no. Hey, Canelo. Sit. No. Come here. Stay right here. But the signs that it does best in is Sagittarius and Pisces, because it rules Sagittarius and it traditionally ruled Pisces until Neptune came in the picture. So those two signs, you know, operate very well in with Jupiter. Capricorn it falls in Capricorn. It's at its detriment, which means it doesn't operate as best. And it deals with a lot of like restrictive ass energy. You can kind of like put two and two together, because I just explained Saturn and Capricorn being a restrictive energy, because you have to sit with those lessons. And Jupiter's all about moving fast and kind of expanding and keep it going and kind of not stopping, basically. Capricorn is not about that. It's about stopping. It's about, hey, don't you do it. It's not about taking your time. It's about letting go and being free and just having that freedom, because Sagittarius energy is all about freedom. Sagittarius energy is all about having that independent mindset and being an independent thinker at the end of the day. Sit, stay. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got on Jupiter. Like I said, I'm not going to do the videos. As far as the planets and the signs, because that's going to just make the video just 10 times longer. And I just want to just make more videos in like shorter times, so you guys can ingest the energy, not the energy or the information, to where you can actually understand it for yourself, and then go to the next video and it's like, okay, he just talked about this in the other video. With that being said, hey, don't you even do it. That being said, I'll leave as I come by saying Grand Rising. Peace to all the gods and goddesses of Planet Kai. Peace to all the ancestors and elders. Peace to my peers. Peace to the youth. Peace to the crystal babies and star seeds, the animals, the plant life. And I send high vibrations to everyone. Peace.